So you want to shoot the Milky Way in Florida, the absolute first thing you need to do, pull your gear out on the way over. Check, check. What's up? Good morning, guys. It is 3:20 a.m. and we are headed over to Marineland. We're gonna go do the Milky Way tonight. It's currently spring break in Florida. It's absolutely crazy down A1A right now. They got a few more days left, so we're gonna let them finish off. Clear night tonight, gonna go shoot the Milky Way. Excited? Let's go do it. All right, guys, we made it. Put some coffee in the cup. All right, put this gear back in my bag. It's all acclimated and nice. It was cold when I got in the car, so that was good. It'll fog your lens up so fast. Let's get out there. It is 4 a.m., so we made it with plenty of time. Our shooting window is 4:30 to 5:30. So, and we're gonna do a pano today. We're gonna do a vertical pano. See if we can get the whole arc over the ocean. That's the idea. All right, let's make this coffee and get into it. Let's do it, guys. Beep. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? We have made it out here. It's about 4:20 right now, so we got plenty of time. The Milky Way is out. The sky is clear. We came through some fog banks on the way in, but it's all clear here. So other than that, we're good to go. I took a test shot. Looks good. We're gonna do a vertical pano today, so I'm probably gonna take, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 shots, sweep across the ocean. We're out here early because it's just now coming over the ocean at like 4 to 5. So trying to get that before it gets into the Palm Coast light pollution over there. So yeah, that's the idea, but let's see if we can pull it off. I'm not sure. We've taken 2 sets of photos. I got like 250 degrees just to make sure I have plenty of overlap. So real quick, I'll go over the settings that I was using. We're in manual mode for sure, and you want to use a white balance. Just don't use auto. You can use anything because you should be shooting in raw. Just say that. So manual, shooting in raw, and then set your white balance to anything because you can always change that later, but you want them to all be the same white balance. So if you put it on auto, it can change in between your shots, and you don't want that. We're at ISO 640 on my camera because I shoot a Sony a7 III. I shoot at 640 and then I can boost it in post where I need to, and it has the same amount of noise as if I shot it at that ISO in the field. This way I can get it as clean as possible and then decide later. And then the shutter speed, I'm doing 13 to 15 seconds because I have a 16mm lens. So that gives me plenty of time to get pin sharp stars. So good to go there. 13 seconds is a little better, but 15 seconds is totally fine too. And I'm shooting on a Viltrox 16mm f1.8. I came up here on this Coquina rock, some of the higher ones, so I can get an overview of the rocks drifting into the water. It's so dark, I don't know if you can see it, but if I do find a good composition here, I'll leave my camera there and then maybe try to get a blue hour foreground and blend those later. So we'll see. The last time I did this, I did like 20 frames and stacked them and did my darks, but I'm just gonna shoot single frames this time because I'm doing a pano, and just to keep my life easier. And if it works out well, then we'll move on to stacking a pano because we have plenty of Milky Way season left. It's so dark out here, it's hard to do anything. I mean, it's pitch black out, obviously, shooting the Milky Way, but so super dark, also super wet. Trying to keep my gear dry is like almost impossible. The video camera and the mic receiver are just like dripping with dew. It's insane. The light pollution is getting harder and harder to deal with out here. I think I started trying to shoot the Milky Way out here like 7 years ago, and it was pretty decent. You can get away with it. I was even using an ASPC back then. But now each year it's got worse and worse with the light pollution between Palm Coast and St. Augustine. It's getting harder and harder to shoot. But I think we still managed to get one. We'll see. I'm gonna wait for blue hour here, try to get like an ISO 100 f16 shot, and we'll see if we can blend those later with the Milky Way stitch. Who knows if it's gonna work? I have no idea. But right now we're just enjoying the morning, trying to keep our gear dry and waiting for this blue hour to show up. And a couple things I want to talk about real quick. So what I do is manually focus. I'll zoom in as far to a star as I can and then rack focus back and forth until I get it pin sharp. And as soon as it gets sharp, you know, it'll go back and forth and you can fine tune it right to that specific spot. There's one thing you definitely want to do is double check all your sharpness on your photos while you're out here, because all kinds of stuff goes wrong in the dark. For a single shot, I would light paint the foreground to get it to look good, do like a longer exposure with a lower ISO, but doing the pano, it would just be too hard to stitch and get to look right, I think. So what I'm gonna do is wait for blue hour. When the sun comes up a little bit, starts to glow, I'll do some 30-second exposures at ISO 100 and try to get a clean foreground that I can blend later. And one more thing, when you're taking your pano, you wanna overlap a lot. I mean, kind of the more the better, to be honest. You're gonna have a cleaner image, your computer's gonna have an easier time stitching it, but always give yourself tons of extra data for when you get back to editing. You can always not use a shot or get rid of it later, but you can't come back out here and reshoot it, so. Oof, blue hour is slowly coming. It's about 6:15. Milky Way is now not visible. Well, not great, it's washing out. And blue hour's gonna start here in about 20-30 minutes. So I haven't moved my tripod yet. We are locked in, just waiting for this sun to come up. All right guys, so it's blue hour, finally. Make sure my lens is clean, all right. Still a little dark, but it looks pretty nice at 30 seconds, real ethereal. We positioned ourselves perfect for the tide. It's just now coming in like right to where we are almost. That's one thing I was a little nervous about. It was dead low when we got out here at 4. And here in Northeast Florida, it swings 6 hours and 6 feet. I'm gonna do a set here at F7, 30 seconds, and it's still ISO 640 because it's so dark, but I just wanna get some just in case because this tide is moving in. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get these though, and then I'll check in when the sun comes up in a little bit here. Flashlight walker. We got a guy walking with a flashlight killing me down here. Don't make me do clone work. Damn the bad luck. All right, one more here. One more. Oh, that tide is coming in now. Tide and the light might match up perfect. Dude, with the flashlight, stop. Not that he knows, not that she knows. It's so bright anyway, you don't need to worry about the flashlight at all. Overexposed, so that's good. Which is fine, I'm overexposed because I'm getting the foreground, so the sky doesn't matter. So I want it to be overexposed, but I do want to bring it down some. Focusing kind of just a third into the foreground, and let's go. 1, 2, all right, let's take this series. See what she looks like. One of these sets should work. Hopefully all this stuff I got, I can blend stuff together, we'll see. The sun is good and up. Well, not up, the sun's not up, but the dawn is up. We got plenty of light now. So I am going to get an ISO 100. F11, let's go. Yeah, F11 should be good. We're not too close to anything, and this is 16 millimeter. Let's get back here real quick. ISO 100, F11, 4 seconds. So this should go faster. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, so I got this series, which is at ISO 100. We get one more just to make sure we overshoot. Good deal. All right, now I'm gonna point down, try to get as much foreground as I can, maximize the amount of data I have to work with here. There we go. I got about 2/3, 3/4 of the frame foreground. 1, 2, let's do it. Good deal. Oof, it's gonna be hard to blend some of these maybe, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. Hopefully some of these stitch, one of these sets. It's really tough to blend panos and moving ocean water in long exposures. For me, at least. I don't know if there's some big secret that I don't know. Bam, got that series. Let's see, where are we here? Is that too high? Go back here a little bit. There we go, that's pretty good, huh? So yeah, the sun's up. Hopefully, we got everything we need. I hope so. I have no idea. It was pitch black and I'm losing my eyesight because I'm old, so I can't see, even when I check it in the preview. All my gear is absolutely soaked. So much dew out here. I don't know how we even shot the Milky Way. It's so like wet and hazy, humid. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed that we got everything we need. We're gonna pack it up here, probably head back to the house, load all the data and see if we got everything. I might shoot a couple photos here, it is pretty. Yeah, I will show you how I'm gonna stitch the photo and do a little bit of editing. I won't do a long, drawn out version, but just so you can see how I put it together. There's a million videos on how to do this, so I'm not gonna make a million in one, right? But I will show you how I stitch it together, and if you need any more information, the way I do it, you can just ask me, and then I will make it if there's a need. Otherwise, I'll just go over it real quick, and hopefully we got it. We'll see. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a blend of the blue hour, or we have to use the night one. We'll find out. We have made it to Lightroom. Here are the images that we took. We're gonna go ahead and go into the develop module. So here's the image, ISO 640, 16 millimeter. I did shoot at f1.8 and these are 15 seconds. The stars are pen sharp, so looking good, 15 seconds is fine. And yeah, let's do a quick edit on this. We're just gonna boost that exposure up, bring those highlights down, bring some shadows up, blacks, just to get it decent. Also, I'm gonna take this white balance to auto, make it easy for us. All right, there we go. Should be good enough for now. So then I'm gonna go down here to the film strip, hold the first one. The first one is selected. We hold shift, go to the last image, click. That's to select them all, and then we'll hit sync. And make sure you have everything you need selected there. Should be all good. Hit synchronize. And that should be it. And then once you have those synchronized, we're gonna go ahead and right click on that, photo merge, panorama. Let it do its work. There you go. Spherical gives you a little more height, so probably go with that. Looks pretty good. We do have a little bit of issue in here. You see that? That stitch issue, so that's a bummer, but it's not too bad. We can kind of minimize that. Other than that, it looks pretty good of a stitch. There's a light one right here, but easy to fix. That one's pretty rough, but not too bad either. All right, so that's it. We'll merge those. Boop, let it do its thing. And all right, and there is our final merge. Not bad. Not bad. Looks pretty good. A little noisy, but to be expected. Lightroom does have this nice denoise feature, the upgraded one. AI, I don't know how much artificial intelligence it is. But after you take this into Photoshop, you can no longer use this denoise. You can use the old version, which is decent, but not as good as this at all, not even close. So definitely use this new version of denoise in Lightroom before you export over to Photoshop to do more work. There we go. Oh yeah, much better. See that? Let's go unclick it. Oh yeah. Didn't even eat any stars. It's great. The new, all this new denoise stuff's great. All right, good deal. That's it. So let's move on to the foreground. All right, so basically you're gonna do the same thing with your foreground. So here's my finished image. If you're blending, you'll wanna do the same thing with your foreground images here. See how I blew out the highlights in the sky, but that's no problem because we're gonna replace that with the Milky Way. So right there, I blew out the sky, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to capture all my shadow data in here. Nice and clean. We do have some stitch issues, but I mean, what are you gonna do, man? The water is so hard to stitch. Moving water, see this right here? Just an absolute mess, but I'll clean all that stuff up. So you can hardly even see it unless you zoom way in, but I will clean all that up with a little bit of cloning and editing and all that stuff. That's what's hard about these moving waters and panos with the stitching. It's just very tough. So you're never gonna get a full flat, smooth stitch horizon unless you're using a nodal slide and your whole rig is perfectly level. So not a big deal because we can, you know, do some fancy work in Photoshop, but yeah. Just to let you know, you're gonna have a lot of problems with moving water, flat horizons, and panos. So, but that's it, there's our shot. So we just take these essentially over into Photoshop and then blend them together with masks, do a little more localized work on the stars and the foreground and all the things you would do. All right, we took this image and blended it with our foreground, and here's the final image, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, the final image isn't perfect. It's very tough to blend and get to look together. It was pretty good. I did have a few little stitch lines left that kind of show here and there, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's not gonna be perfect because I definitely took a few shortcuts along the way, but this was definitely just more of a reconnaissance, see if I could take it out here. And now I think next month, next new moon, I'm going to go to the West Coast and get some some darker skies and try to reshoot this with a new foreground, with a different landscape. So yeah, tune in, subscribe for that. I hope you enjoy it.